just do it, right? So, hi y'all. Sorry, that was crazy. Again, Nicole here. I want to show you guys, how to properly structure your business, or at least give you a starting point on how to properly structure your business. I'm not sure, what uh, stage you are in your business right now, so it's really kind of hard for me to talk to everybody, but it doesn't matter what stage you're in as long as you know what you might be possibly doing wrong or what you could possibly change to fix it or make it better, so, and that's what I'm here to try to help you guys do. So let me just, we're going to go over structure, business credit versus personal credit, the little differences that some people don't know, funding and credit resources, and then a couple of bonus credit hacks for you guys, and then you can ask me any questions you might have, assuming we can get through this with no problems. So this is just my story here. Again, Nicole Booker. I own Get a Girl Discount Store and Business Diamond Nation. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 plus years. I don't know if y'all saw my video on Facebook, but it pretty much told you everything. I went through the recession, lost everything I owned, house, cars, everything, and hit the ground hard. So I was collecting unemployment, food stamps. It was real fun. I went from 6-figure income to unemployment and food stamps. So it was really hard. And I taught myself how to coupon. I saw that show, Extreme Couponing, and it changed my life. Because when you on food stamps and you on unemployment and you got 6-figure bills to pay, it was like disastrous. And so when I saw that show, the girl walked out of the store with like $2,000 worth of stuff and she paid like $10. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? And then I just did all kinds of research. I was looking YouTube. I was recording the show. I was doing everything. And eventually I did master the art of the science of couponing. And I was able to teach myself how to get items for free. Most of the time, a lot of times it was free. Most of the time it was like maybe 90% off. And some of the times I walked out of the store and they gave me money. So that's crazy. I was like looking in my rearview mirror the whole time, like, ain't no cops coming, is it? Because I only gave her paper coupons. So, and I walked out with all their stuff. So, long story short, that was a light bulb moment for me. Realized that was, because I had started building up so much stockpile, so much excess things like shampoos, toilet paper, mouthwash, toothpaste, deodorant. I mean, like, you name it. Anything food stamps wouldn't buy, I was getting it, at 90% off or free, so it got to the point where our household was just loaded with stuff and we couldn't use it all fast enough. So eventually I just said, you know what, I'm going to just resell it and supplement my little baby unemployment income. And it definitely helped. It helped a great deal. And that's, how Get a Girl Discount Store was born. And then 5 years of that, I struggled. I mean, it was insane. I was using I was getting all my inventory for free. Yeah, or at a really huge discount. But everything else, I was paying for with my little check and my little food stamps. So it was really hard because I didn't understand the power of business credit. I didn't understand it. I didn't know about it. Nobody really talked about it. Not at that time. This is back in 2013, 2014, whenever, nobody was really talking about business credit like that, or at least the circle I was around wasn't talking about it. I'm sure somebody was talking about it. So, so I struggled, but I made it through. And then I did my due diligence. I took multiple courses. I don't know how many thousands of dollars I paid, the gurus and all that stuff. Like if I believe in something, I will invest in it, period. Knowledge. It's powerful. You can't take it back from you. You can't repossess it. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
You can't repossess it. It's mine forever. So I will pay for knowledge. I will pay for education. So that's what I did. I paid for whatever I paid for. I made a lot of mistakes. And eventually I got to the point where had another light bulb moment and realized that I was doing it all wrong. And I figured it out. And I want to show the world because we don't have to struggle like this. Small businesses struggle so much, and we can't get access to capital. We can't they start looking at your personal credit. I just got laid off from my job and foreclosure on my house and repossess my car. So yeah, try looking at my personal credit and see what you're gonna give me. Nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know what else to do but spend my own personal money, and you can't do that forever. Eventually, you're going to run out of money, or something's going to happen that's more important than your business, like something with your family or something big, whatever. Something's going to happen, and no, that's not the way to go. It's a dead end road. So I figured out how to get this business credit thing going off the ground, like legit, like it's legit. And it's like, I feel crazy that I didn't know about it before, but I didn't. But hey, today's a new day.
Right.
So I want to share that knowledge with my people. So business structure. So basically, business structure is really simple. It's so simple that I think that's why people misunderstand it, because it's so simple.
Right.
But it's a matter of knowing the rules and the way the corporate world, the way they think a little different than the consumer side. And they're real picky about certain things, but they want to give you money. They like, please take my money, because when you take my money, I know you're gonna bust your butt to make it back so you can make money too. So they like that. They want to see you grow, but you still gotta know how to structure it before they even consider looking at your application twice. So
right.
You know what I'm saying? Even opening up your application, for that matter. So you got to start out. You definitely have to have your business registered with the state. No ifs, ands, or buts. Whatever state you live in has to be registered with that state. If it's not, then you are not legally
in business
allowed to conduct business in that state, because they want their money. They want to know who's making money in their state. They want their piece. So you got to register with the state. And then that's what it is. All right, everybody got to get paid. I get it. So register with your state. If you don't have an EIN, get one. Period. It's your business's social security number. You know what I mean? It's the other half of you. You know what I'm saying? Without that, you can't do anything. You can't definitely not get no business credit. It's free to get. There's no reason to not have it. It's free. It takes like 5 minutes to apply for it.
Yeah,
it takes a couple of weeks to get it. Maybe a week or two, something like that. Not long, but it's free to apply for it. So take care of that ASAP. If you don't have it, get it. Dun and Bradstreet is basically like the business, the corporate world's credit bureau for businesses. It's like the Experian of personal business, because there's an Experian on the business side too. But just to give you an idea of what I mean, it's like the big wig of business credit, and everybody goes there. All the lenders go there. Most of them report there when you get business credit from them. They're the people you want to keep happy. Dun & Bradstreet is your friend. Okay.
And that's also free to get.
And that's also free. dnb.com. Free. Easy. You just need to create an account and fill everything in properly. And I'm going to tell you, when you create your Dun & Bradstreet account, project your income, meaning manifest your income. Whatever you expect your business to be doing in the next 5 years, put that ×2 for your projected income. So I don't use no less than 160,000 a year. You know what I mean? I could use more, but I don't. I use about 160, and that works. if you know your ratios. And like when you're applying for things, you got to know your ratios. Don't apply for, like I just got the Mercedes. It's a $50,000 car. Don't apply for a $50,000 car and you made $60,000 for the year for your business, your gross profits. No, your debt ratios are going to be crazy. They're not going to give you the loan. Maynard knows that those debt ratios.
Those ratios, right?
Yeah. But it's real. It's the same as like on the personal side. That ratio matters. So, but when you're doing your Dun and Bradstreet, you setting it up, make sure you are putting in your business address exactly as it's listed on your EIN certificate or your Secretary of State certificate. They need to match everywhere, and it needs to be consistent
everywhere.
Okay, across the board, from your EIN to your bank account to your website, across the board. So when you're filling out your DMB, just make sure you're consistent. Project your income, and what else can I tell you about that? Just make sure everything is consistent. Just make sure you take a note of whatever you're putting in there. Like if you're saying your projected income is 300,000, you want to know what you're putting in there, because when you go apply for something, you want to be consistent. It's all about consistency when it comes to commercial and business credit. If they feel any kind of way, shape, or form that you're not who you say you are, they will slam the door in your face.
Yes.
And say, next.
Nicole.
Yes.
Are you taking questions during or after?
Yeah, let me just finish this last point, and then I can take a couple questions.
Okay.
All right. And then so commercial address. If you work from home, you might be using your personal address, and I get it. I did the same thing. But guess what? It's going to hold you back down the line. You might be able to slide through here or there, get a couple things, a little bit of credit, maybe. But down the line, it's going to hold you back. And not only that, it's public record. Anybody, any crazy Looney Tune out there can go to the state website and look up your business and see your home address.
Right.
We don't want that. People crazy. So get a commercial or a virtual address. I use a virtual address for my business, and it works. I got a Mercedes. Do I have to say anything more? It works. And before I had that, it never would have happened. Never would have happened. So if you don't have a virtual address, and by the way, guys, I'm gonna send you all a copy of this presentation as a PDF. So all these links in here are clickable. It'll take you right to the website for the virtual address. This particular virtual address that I got is it gives you a telephone number, a business telephone number, a business fax number. It gives you a live receptionist.
Yeah.
You call that number and she gonna be like, "Get it, girl, discount store. How may I help you?" What? Girl, say it again. I used to call her just to hear her say it. I did. I'm not joking. And I was like, hang up like quietly, like she know I would call her. But that's why. I think that's why. I love it. So get a virtual address. I use them. I had a different virtual address before. It was called iPostal.
Yeah, I don't like iPostal either.
Don't get them. They come up as UPS. You Google my store, and it will be like, yeah, she UPS. Yeah, no. And the banks was like, no, denied. You know what I'm saying? So get a virtual. If you have a brick and mortar commercial address, great, you're good, you're gravy. If you have a home-based business, get a virtual address. Depends on how big you want to go. I mean, if you want to keep your personal address on there, and you don't, you don't want to spend the money to pay for a virtual address, you can do that. But it has a level to it. Like you can't go but so far with it. So
Right. It's even helps it prohibits you to, even if you're trying to get interns and stuff. A lot of the schools won't allow you to get an intern if you have a home based business. You have to have either a physical address or, like you said, a virtual address.
Right. And see, some virtual addresses don't come up as commercial. Like what you do is you go to Google, you type in your business address. If it comes up as UPS,
Yeah.
that's a problem unless you're UPS. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a virtual address other than this one that I'm suggesting, make sure you Google it, Google Earth it. It should come up as a commercial building of some sort.
Right.
Even if you got a suite in that commercial building, it should come up as a commercial building.
Right.
And that's all the lenders care about. So, but I'll take questions now. Sorry, y'all. I'll be rambling sometimes when I'm passionate about it.
All right, Nicole, this is LT.
Hi, LT.
I've been kind of bootlegging it. Okay, so I have been working on just structuring my business the correct way because one, as a speaker, coach, like I think sometimes we don't think of ourselves as a business, even though I do teach brand and stuff, right? So kind of like I probably should be knowing this stuff, but I wasn't treating myself as a business. Okay. And then I realized that I had an EIN number for now I get these downloads all the time to do stuff and I don't remember why I'm doing it. So I called the IRS last week or so when they just sent it to me. And my EIN number has been in existence since 2011. I didn't even know. I also have a nonprofit that has been established since 2006. Now that when I did a DUNS number and everything, I think I probably was in a business class way back then, but I can't remember. But I didn't establish credit. Like I didn't establish none of the stuff that needs to be done. So my question is, I now live in a whole nother state. Both of these businesses were created in New Jersey. I now live in California.
Okay.
What are some of the steps I can take to make sure that I'm structuring this right in the order that it should be in?
First of all, I want to tell you congratulations for being in California. I wish I was there right now.
Why?
It's cold out here.
It's raining. Our winter is rain. So
it's cold and
been
rainy.
Raining. Yeah, so it's been raining for like 5 days.
Yeah. But I ended up in New Jersey by accident. I wasn't trying to be here.
I'm born and raised there, so
I wasn't trying to be here. But anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. So since you're starting in New Jersey, your business's addresses are probably in New Jersey as well, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you reside in California. You need a foreign entity. You need to register your business as a foreign entity in one state or the other. You just pick a state, or you just change your addresses to California. But if you do that, you might lose your time, and you don't want to do that.
No.
Time is like, ooh, no.
Right. That's
you got like 10 years on one and what, 14 or some crazy number on the other one?
Yeah, and that wouldn't even have the DUNS number way back then.
Yeah, no, you don't want to lose that. So yeah, this is what you do. You need a foreign entity. You need to register your business as a foreign entity in California, right? And when you file your taxes, you have to include that and make sure you state that you have a foreign entity in California. But to get specifics on what exactly how the steps are, just call California State Secretary of State and ask them what are the steps to get a foreign entity, register your business as a foreign entity in California, right?
Okay.
And then also call New Jersey State and ask them just to dot all your I's and cross all your T's, so you hear it from both sides. Because New Jersey funny, New Jersey funny.
New Jersey just with their coins like everybody else.
Yeah, they do. So, they be on you like, no, pay me. New Jersey don't let you out of their state unless you pay $5.
Right. Let me ask you something. Because I am actually the entity, right? As a speaker, and author and coach and stuff like that. And so, as that being me, I don't live in New Jersey, right?
Right.
But
your business lives in New Jersey.
Right. So how does
So
that work?
that's why you have to call both of them to see which way is the best way, because I'm not an expert on that as far as what the state wants and all that, but this is what I would do. I would call New Jersey State, ask them, tell them your scenario, ask them what they think you should do or what you should do in New Jersey, and then I will call California and ask them the same question, and they both should match up and say, one of them's going to say one thing, and they both should be saying the same thing, and now you have the answer to what you need to do, and you get the steps on how to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I would do.
All right. I know this is about business. Well, let me let somebody else ask a question first, and then I'll come back.
You might be the only one. Anybody else have questions?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm still listening.
Okay. So
I just wanted to go ahead. I was just to reiterate about making sure all your information match across the board, because when you go to register for SAMI.gov, if any of those things are off kilter, it'll kick it back and it'll reject it. Even if you have one letter capitalized and not the other, it'll reject it. So everything has to be consistent.
Right. Like with my business address, it's a Route 73 suite, and it's a suite number. But the way it's spelled on my Secretary of State and my EIN is RTE. It's not spelled out route. It's not just RT. It's actually RTE, and suite is STE. So whenever I fill out an application, I'm putting RTE and STE, because why? That's what my certificates say, and that's what my DUNS say.
And
and that's who they're going to verify it with. So as long as they don't feel like any kind of misconception going on, if they don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, they're going to want to give you money. But if they feel even the slightest bit of I don't know about that, they're going to just give you a hard time and probably deny you. Any other questions?
Hey, Nicole. Yes, this is Danielle. How you doing?
Hey, Danielle. How you doing?
All right. So I do have a question. So on my EIN number, I have the main part of my business, and then on my my EIN and also my articles of organization with the state, I have one name, but then on my local, like my shop license, I have that plus a DBA. Is that something, or do I need to add the DBA to my EIN with the IRS?
I don't think you have to add it with the IRS. DBA is really kind of like a nickname for your business. You know what I mean? It's not official, but if you use it regularly, or if you use it more than you use the official, then just make sure you're always listing it on your applications. But you don't have to really necessarily add it to your EIN. Okay. However, if you want to be super, super like airtight, I would call them and just be like, listen, do I need this on listed on my EIN?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Go right to the horse's mouth. Go right to the source.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Of course. So anybody else before I go again? I would like
I'll ask. I'm just looking for some tricks of trade on how to continue to build my business credit.
I got you. Keep watching.
All right. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
All right. So call both states to get that information. All right. So I just noticed when the IRS sent this EIN information that there's a T missing an enterprise. Should I call them for correction? Or?
Absolutely, ma'am. Yes, you should.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you're going to start spelling enterprise like that for the rest of your life.
Okay. So I need to call them.
You have a choice. You have options.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, okay. And this is probably my last question until I get another question. So with the nonprofit, I had a lawyer to do all of the papers, the incorporation stuff. If I want to do the incorporation for the one that's personally me, how do I, what are the steps, or who do I reach out to actually do the incorporation stuff? Well, not incorporation, but the legal papers and stuff.
Like you want a service that'll help you incorporate the other business onto the main business?
Well, is no. What I would like is to have the same kind of booklet that I have with all the bylaws, the certificates, what's that thing, the seal, and all that stuff for my other business. That's me.
Girl, you can get that off Amazon.
Oh, okay.
They'll personalize it for you. They'll put your business name on it. You can get it in red. I'm getting mine in red. I need a new one. But it's called a don't give me a line. It's
LLC.
corporate
LLC.
Yes.
They sell them at Staples and all that stuff too.
Yes.
I even have them on my website.
Yes.
All right. So Deborah, I'll be reaching out. You'll tell me.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yes. Any other questions?
What did you say that was called? I'm sorry.
Actually, gonna make me think of the whole name.
Corporate. Go ahead. The corporate binding. So you're supposed to use that to record your meetings. Right. Anytime you use the seal and all that stuff. So
right.
If you go on Amazon, it's called a corporate resolution book.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. And then just make sure you get the one tailored to your business, like LLC, or if you're a S Corp, or if you're a C Corp, or whatever. So it'll have the right documents inside of it.
Okay, I have one more question.
Of course you do.
Of course. So after the enterprise, it doesn't have like LLC after it. Should that be there?
On what are you looking at?
On my information from the IRS. I don't know.
Does it show on your so that's your EIN, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does it show on your Secretary of State with the LLC at the end of it?
I can't remember. I just remember that I had it.
Right. So what you need to do is look yourself up on the Secretary of State and see if it's listed with that LLC on it. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be there, because you're registered the way you're registered when you registered, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just wondering what kind of classification or category, and I just want to make sure, so when I do, while I'm getting everything in order and making sure everything is the way it should be, that I'm doing it the correct way. But it doesn't say LLC, it's just missing a T. And so I was just wondering, like, okay.
Since you got to do that anyway with the whole T missing thing,
yeah,
you gotta fix that, right? So
okay, yeah.
You have to fix that anyway. I would, once again, I'll go right to the source, because they be changing stuff all the time. So I was just calling them about the T, like, where is my T? Y'all owe me a T, and ask them about the LLC at the same time, or ask them, is it even necessary to be there, or do they want it? Is it required to be there? You know what I'm saying? So. And that way, when you call, because you have to call the Secretary of State too to make sure the T is not missing there, or if it is there, you obviously see you have a discrepancy, so you got to fix it regardless. You got to know how it looks, what you look like on paper.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions?
No, we good.
Y'all good for now? We good for now. All right. So, and this page is just basically reiterating it. You're Dun & Bradstreet, what you need, what it is, and why you need it, and your virtual address. Again, these are all links. It'll take you right to DMB here. This will take you to IRS. So you can click on the link once you get the ebook, and that way you'll be able to just go right to it, knock it out. All right. Same thing again here. Register with the state. Call your state. If you're not registered, you got to pay the little fee to get registered, but after that, you're good. All right, so business credit versus personal credit. Business credit, multiple inquiries does not does not hurt you. It does not negatively affect your credit score. I mean, you could pull your credit 5 times in one day and your credit score will not drop on business credit. Your utilization does not negatively affect your credit score on business credit. You get approved for larger amounts. Personal credit does not matter. Now, there are some situations where you can personally guarantee credit, and there are situations where it's actually beneficial to you to do that. But if you have like really good credit, and you can definitely leverage that even more combined with business credit. But if you don't want to get your personal anything involved, you don't have to when it comes to business credit. And if there's somebody that's requiring that, then you move on to the next lender or creditor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If that's not what you want to do, you don't have to do that. It's not any of their business what your personal credit looks like. None. Zero. Okay. And it does not report to your personal credit when you get business credit. So if I get a Shell gas card, it's not going to show up on my personal credit. Anything I get for business, unless I personally guarantee it, it may show up. Usually it doesn't though, because personal and business aren't allowed to they can't play together. Yeah, they got to stay on their own corners. So it doesn't show up on personal credit. So on the personal side, obviously most people know this, hard inquiries, every time you hit it, it's going down like 3 points or more. That's a hurt piece. If you pull your credit say you apply for 5 different things in one day, like you could do with business credit. Your 15 points, that's a lot. I'm not trying to do that. So utilization, personal side, anything over 30%, your score is going to drop. It's always better to keep it under 10% if you can. And depending on the condition of your credit, your limits tend to be lower. But the most important part of this is here. Oh, of course, get out of the way. Move. It's not moving. Okay. Stop. All right. I'm going to stop touching the mouse now. Hold on. Always lock and freeze your personal credit bureaus before you apply for business credit to prevent hard inquiries. You can lock your personal credit. You got to go to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion separately. You can lock your credit. And Experian will try to make you think you have to pay for it, but you don't. Just Google lock my personal Experian credit report. And it'll take you to a website where it says, oh, you want to lock your credit report? No, there's no fee. Go ahead and lock it. It's yours. So Experian will try to charge you, but you don't have to pay that. But go to each individual credit bureau, lock your credit. I keep my credit locked. You know what I mean? Get out my business. It's my credit. And if you pull it, if you go somewhere and you apply for something and you don't know if they look at your personal credit or not, you'll find out when they try to pull it, and then you get that email saying, yeah, such and such try to get in your stuff. You want me to let them in? No. So, sorry. That's how I be feeling though. So just lock it, protect yourself. If you do come across a lender, a business lender that you want, and you feel like you'll probably have a good odds of getting it, you can always unlock it. You'll just, when you first apply, it'll send you that email saying, we can't approve your application, or we have to put your application in review because your credit is frozen. So when you unfreeze it, come back and we'll finish reviewing your application. You can do that. And then it takes like a second to unlock it. You just go to the website and say, unlock it you can unlock it temporarily, or you can unlock it permanently, however you want to do it. But you can always put it back on, take it off as much as you want. No fee. All right. So just do that. Give yourself a break. And then also with inquiries, while we're at it, if you apply for a business credit account, and let's say you apply for something, you thought you had your credit report locked, your personal credit report locked, but it wasn't, and you applied for it and they denied you. Now you got a hard inquiry on your personal credit. Girl, you can get it off. All right, immediately. So, because business has no business putting anything on your personal at all. So that includes inquiries. So I'm going to show you a little later on in the presentation how you can get those inquiries off, like right away, just like that. Even if it's not business, I'll show you how to get personal inquiries off. I got y'all. All right, so let me go to the next one. Any questions? I'm gonna take that as a no. All right, so here I'm just sharing with you guys some lenders and some net 30 creditors. This will jumpstart your business credit, and you should be able to get at least $10,000 worth of business credit reporting to your credit bureaus if you use this method. So the first one is the capital loans. You get up to 25,000. You can actually get more, but the one for this requirement, you get up to 25,000. You just need an EIN. You need a business bank account, 5,000 or more a month deposited into your account, and it has to be 3 consecutive months, 3 most recent consecutive months. 450 plus credit score, because I think they do a soft inquiry. I'm pretty sure they don't do a hard inquiry, but lock it anyway. Lock your credit anyway, and then if they need to unlock it, and then they say, "Oh, we can't finish your application because your credit is locked," you be like, "Okay, well, which credit bureau are you pulling from, and is it a hard inquiry or a soft inquiry?" And then you can decide whether or not you want to allow him to proceed, or you can say, "No, never mind, cancel it," and it won't hurt you anyway at all. All right, but 450 plus credit score, and then 6 months or more older in the business. So if you have those requirements, you have a pretty high probability of being approved. Now, if you have a bunch of insufficient funds and bounce checks and crazy stuff going on your business bank account, they're not going to touch you. But if you don't have those things and you have all these check marks, then you're pretty high probability of being approved. All right, and then these net 30 accounts here, super, super simple. I actually, matter of fact, just helped someone this week. He had no Paydex score, and his business has been around for, I think, like a year and a half, maybe. No Paydex score, no business credit at all. And I sent him these 3 of these I sent to him, and he got all 3 of them. So the first one is the Maverick office supplies. All you need is an EIN to apply with them. There's no fee to apply. It reports to business credit bureaus. And just so you know, the magic number when it comes to business credit score is 80. Most people know this. It's your Paydex score. But the way to get an 80 Paydex score is very simple. Very, very simple. Super simple. Get 3 to 5 of these net 30 accounts. Buy something. Pay it off 10 days early. 10 to 15 days early. Maybe 10 days early is probably enough. And then most of them report, these ones here, I believe, report monthly. So make sure you're buying something until you see a Paydex score. But usually you only have to buy something maybe once, possibly twice, possibly. But buy something, pay it off 10 days early. You need 3 to 5 net 30 accounts. Once you get that, you will generate an 80 Paydex score. 80 Paydex score is the magic number. 80 Paydex score will get you a car. It will get you real estate. It will get you whatever you want, whatever your heart desires for your business. So Maverick, no, all you need is an EIN. There's no fee. Most of these net 30 accounts do have a fee. You know, a lot of them do. Some of them don't, but a lot of them do. So, but it's what you got. It's the cost of, look, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. And this is what you got to do to get your scores up, period. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But these are 3 I'm recommending because they're easy. And I just last week got somebody 10,000. He got 5,000 with Maverick. I think he got 3,500 with Business T-Shirt Club, and he got 2,200 with the CEO Creative. So as you can see, Business T-Shirt Club, and the good thing about Business T-Shirt Club though is you can get stuff there and you can brand your business. Like you can get it's getting cold outside. Well, not Miss California, but it's getting cold outside here in Jersey, and we can get like sweatshirts and put our logo on it, or put whatever you want on it and brand your business. You're using that 30 account, so now you're building business credit and you're branding your business at the same time. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So just, make sure you pay it back. Net 30 accounts do not have a grace period. 0. Like when they say it's due on the 5th, it's due on the 5th. And if you don't pay it by the 5th, they're going to tag your business credit. And then you're going to have to just start another LLC. No, seriously. They will tag your credit. There's no grace period at all. So, don't think, oh, I got, as long as I pay it before 30 days, it won't report late. No, it's going to report late at 12:01 a.m. on the 6th. All right. So just pay it on time. Actually, pay it 10 days early. And then the CEO Creative is another one. You can actually get business cards, and they have all kinds of goodies on there. So, but as you can see, the Business T-shirt Club does have an annual fee of $69 a year, and the CEO Creative has an annual fee of $79 a year. So you pay that one time. It ain't like you got to renew it. You're not going to need it for a year unless you like what they have to offer. You can definitely use it, but you're not going to have to. But that's just like their way of getting their money up front, basically. So definitely get those 3 accounts if you guys can, because it will definitely jumpstart your credit. And then the NAV boost is a great way to get another trade line on your business. It'll be a 4th one that you would have. And basically you should have NAV anyway, because it gives you your profile of your business, how it looks to lenders when you're applying for stuff. Like, you want to have access to your business credit. NAV Boost gives you a snapshot of that. It gives you your numbers, it gives you your PAYDEX score, it gives you your SBSS score, which is your score that's for SBA. So when you're trying to get approved for SBA loans, I'm gonna tell you, SBA, they probably want you to have at least a 165, 170 score before they'll approve you. Which, yeah. So those are 3 great ones. If you do the NAV boost, it gives a better impact on your credit if you do the quarterly one, because it shows up as a larger trade on your account. You know what I mean? So with business credit, it's all about what you're spending. They want to see you spending money. They don't want to see you. If you got a bunch of credit lines and credit cards and you're not using them, they're not going to report, and nobody cares. And that's just how it is. That's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you get those net 30s, you use them. Just use them once, maybe twice if you have to. But if you get the NAV boost, you'll be able to access, your scores and all that, so you'll know where you stand as far as your PAYDEX score. And you want that 80. Once you got that 80, woo, it's on and popping. So, any questions about that?
What's the difference between who is easier, the Capital or Bank of America? Because I heard Bank of America is pretty easy to do too.
You mean Capital One?
Yeah. No, Capital loan versus Bank of America's loans.
Oh, well, it depends. I don't know. Bank of America, I don't really know all their guidelines. I do know they offer small business loans, but it's a bank, so they have different, nuances that you got to deal with. With this lender, it's kind of like a fintech type of lender. As long as you do the plaid and they can see you making the $5,000 a month or more, that's really all they care about, to be honest with you. And as long as you don't have any non-sufficient funds or anything like that, you can't be a sole proprietor. You have to be at least an LLC. But yeah, it's pretty clean cut. But Bank of America, I did hear they have some good small business programs. I've never tried personally though. Don't stay away from Capital One though. Capital One, they will pull all your personal credit, and they're gonna pull on your business credit. They just pull it all over the place, and then they're gonna report it to your personal. Capital One be all over the place. I wouldn't mess with them unless y'all cool like that. But I wouldn't mess with them. If you already have an account with them, they may not pull your personal credit as much, but I don't trust them.
Okay.
I don't trust them. but you know, that is what it is. All right, so let's go next slide. And here is your bonus, guys. All right, so Amazon Net 30. It's really simple to get. If you want an Amazon, I have an $11,500 Amazon Net 30 account. $11,500 that I can use to buy inventory. I can use whatever, however I want to use it. As long as it's something that I can attach to my business in some way, shape. I bought dog food, y'all, like a couple weeks ago. That's my security. So I can buy dog food. That's, you know what I mean? So listen.
How does your net zero work? Like if you have net zero and it's connected to your Amazon, does that mean I can order anything through Amazon for my business?
Net 30, yes. Yeah, Net 30, you can order anything Amazon sells. You can only buy on Amazon. Obviously, it's an Amazon line of credit, basically. That now you do have to pay what you use. So if I lose my mind and go like ham on Amazon and order like $11,000 worth of stuff, they're gonna be like, yeah, 30 days. What's up? So don't do that. But you know, it's definitely a great resource to have to leverage. Like if you have an Airbnb, if you're doing like any kind of business, landscaping, anything, whatever, Amazon sells everything. What don't they sell? You know what I'm saying? So any business that you have.
I had somewhere they sent me like a booklet, but it had all materials and different things, and I could only order from the booklet.
The store part.
Booklet, I was limited, and I was like, that's not what I wanted.
Right. Well, with this hack, you can get a real Amazon line of credit where you can order what's on Amazon. Not that that's not real. I didn't mean to disrespect your booklet, but
the booklet is bad. To your booklet, but I told the gentleman, I told him exactly what I wanted. I told him exactly how I wanted my system. I wanted Apple. I wanted it to go to my Apple iPad, and then I'd have my Apple phone. So all three will be connected no matter where I'm at. I explained it to them. When I got there, they're like, oh, we don't have Apple, but we got, Snapple. And I'm like, no, I don't want Snapple. I said Apple. It's like, oh, well, we don't have, Linux. It was always something not what you wanted, but a computer, or this, or not that. It was all unnamed brand items that you really couldn't use. You can't tell how long they want to last. But Amazon, I think that's going to work perfect.
Right. Yeah. So do this hack. So here's how it works. All right, so this is how it worked for me. And a lot of other people can kind of testify to that. But so if you have an Amazon account already, right, and say you have an Amazon account with your Gmail attached to it, right, what you do is, what I did was I added my business credit card or debit card to the payment, one of the payment methods. And as soon as I did that, Amazon turned around and sent me an email like, oh, we see you have a business card attached to your account. Would you like to open a business, Amazon business account? You know what I mean? So when you do that and you get that trigger, say, of course I want to open a Amazon business account. Yes, please and thank you. So you open it up, but you don't open it up with a Gmail, Ymail, or Hotmail. Don't do that. Open it up with a domain name email, like info@mybusiness.com. You know what I'm saying? So
are you saying the same email address that I have on Amazon currently to a domain email address?
Right. Log into your regular email or regular Amazon account. Attach your business debit card or credit card, or some kind of business card, right? Attach it to your regular Amazon account. Once you do that, I don't know how long it's going to take them. It shouldn't take them more than a few days, but you should get a message from Amazon and be like, oh, we noticed you attached a business card to your account. Would you like to open a Amazon business account? You know what I mean? And so then you obviously, yes, I do. Thank you. I was waiting for that. And then you open it up. But when you open it up with your domain email. Okay.
Okay. So you're actually opening up a separate account from the personal. The personal is not changing over to the business.
Right. No, you're opening up a business Amazon account. What you have now is a consumer account. But once you attach that business card to it, Amazon will be all up in your business like, look, he got a business. Let's offer him something. And then once you do that, it's going to offer you something. It's going to offer you to get a business, and it's going to say, would you like to consider getting a business Amazon account? And then of course you're going to be like, yes, please. And then you open it with your domain name email. Okay. And then once you do that, you should get an email after that, because the net 30 Amazon is only invitation only. You can't like call them up like, yo, let me get that net 30 joint. They're going to be like, no, you can't get that.
Okay.
You can't get that.
Right.
We got to invite you. So once you do that, they will send you an invitation. And then, they'll ask you to do it, pay by invoice. You're like, heck yeah. And they gonna offer you a nice credit line. Like I've seen most people get 8,000 or more. You know what I'm saying? I got 11.5. Project that income if they ask you about it. But I don't think they even ask you about it. They just offer you the net 30. So now, this is obviously a hack. It's not bulletproof. It's not, you know what I mean? However, it has a high rate of success. But as an alternative, if that doesn't work, once you open the business account, right, place like 2 or 3 little small orders, like order some cotton balls and have it shipped to you, and order some, you know what I mean, like toothpicks or something, whatever.
Yep.
And have it shipped to you, and then you're gonna have activity in the system, and then it should trigger something, invitation. And if it doesn't, you go into their chat. And you chat with them on your business side, on the business account. You chat with them, say, listen, I like to start putting in more orders for my business. We're coming into the busy season, and I want to be able to net 30 these accounts, because it makes it easier for my accountant. You know, it helps my accounting and my bookkeeping. You know, can you submit a request for a net 30, or could you, put a note in my account that I would like to have a net 30? And then they'll chat with you and they'll say, yeah, sure, no problem, we'll submit it, or whatever. And you should get something, but just make sure you put those couple orders in, just to show like, all right, I'm going to give you money if you give me money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So good luck with that, guys. It does have a high rate of success.
And it comes quick to that email.
What?
They were like,
testify, girl.
I was like, well, how you know I just did that? Like, I really didn't think nothing of it. And I actually didn't use my business card for a personal, because I normally don't mix the two. And I bought a book as a gift for a customer, so I used my business credit card on it. And next thing you know, like literally like 5 minutes later, I got an email saying,
boom,
hey, notice you changed your business card.
Yep. That's exactly how it happened for me. So it has a high probability of success. But again, if it doesn't work, do the other hack where you just chat with them and say, listen, I need my business is growing. I need this money so I can grow even more and orders more stuff. That's what they want to know. You know what I mean? So, but that's that. And then for removing your inquiries, I know y'all been reading. Stop reading. So remove your inquiries from your personal credit report within like literally 4 hours, right? And I'm talking from personal experience. I've done this. Call the fraud department for Experian. It works the best with Experian, okay? It works for the other ones, but like I think it's TransUnion. TransUnion might get a little funky, but just shoot your shot. That's what I always say. Like, what if you don't try, then of course it's not going to work. So, but call the fraud department, and it's really, really, really important that you're speaking to the fraud department. Don't let them like transfer you somewhere and you think you're talking to the fraud department. You got to say, I'm sorry, is this the fraud department? And then they're going to say yes or no or whatever. Well, I need to speak to the fraud department. And keep doing that until you know you're at the fraud department, okay? So for Experian, call that number, enter your social security number, press 2, press 1, press 2, and then press 3. That should take you to the fraud department, but still ask that question. Is this the fraud department? And if they say, yeah, you good. If they say no, can you transfer it to the fraud department? All right, so then once you get there, state there's some authorized inquiries on your credit. Play real dumb, okay? There's some authorized inquiries on your credit, and you would like to have them removed today. You don't have to say today, but you would like to have them removed. And they'll ask you if you've contacted the creditor. Yes. They'll ask if you want to pay put a fraud alert on your account. No. They'll ask if you filed a police report. No. And then they're going to say, okay, no problem. I'll work on this. 1 second. Blah, blah, blah. And then they'll say, okay, we submitted it for you. You'll get an update in your email. And I kid you not, you'll get that email in probably like 4 hours. I got like 4 taken off at one time. What? I was like, hello. Golden. So, personal credit is still important. We still want to make sure we take care of it. There's still some things we can do to, nurture that too. It is part of us. So we got to treat it right. So that's a good way to get inquiries off. If you run your credit through a business and they deny you, you can go and call the fraud department, tell them you want it off. And it's a business inquiry, so they have no right being on your personal credit. So that's that. Any questions? That means I'm doing good, huh?
I'm good so far.
What is the one who I can't think of the name of it. What's the department you call to what is it called? I forget what I'm thinking about, but basically you're saying you don't agree. You basically want to tell them that you don't believe this activity is used and have them prove the fact that the bill belongs to you. What's that one called? When you basically freeze your reporting so they can't look and then tell them.
LexisNexis?
Yeah, LexisNexis. That's it. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, LexisNexis is a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
They be all in your business reporting stuff to people. They're basically a data mining company. They just collect public information, and they like the little snitches, and they go tell the credit bureaus, she had a late payment on this card. And then, but that's different.
You can freeze them too, right?
Yeah, you can freeze LexisNexis. You can freeze LexisNexis. I think it's CoreLogic. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And LexisNexis owns. I'm terrible with names, y'all. I don't remember the name. But LexisNexis owns a second one. But if you call LexisNexis to freeze it, just ask them, isn't there another company that you guys own or your sister company or something like that? And they're going to tell you the name of it and like, yeah, I want to freeze that one too. Thank you. All right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I couldn't think of that for the life of me. I was like, I know there's one who can freeze, who report everything, because those are the ones that if you write a letter saying I dispute this, I want this off, then they have to prove it. They prove it because LexisNexis is the one, like you said, telling all your business. If you freeze it with them and they can't really prove it, then they have to remove it from your credit card permanently.
Exactly.
Your credit report permanently.
Exactly. Yep. So this is I'm wrapping it up, y'all. So this will, like I said, this will be sent to all of you guys if you want it. You just gotta go to my website and it'll automatically send it to you. That way I'm not like chasing emails and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So just go to my website, just shop digital products. There's only 3 in there. So shop digital product, put the Business Buddies journal in your cart and then add coupon code buddies, and it'll be completely free. It'll email you a PDF just like this, and you can just go ahead and download it, and the links will be clickable for you. And then also my Success Leaves Clues ebook is in there as well. I don't know if you guys follow me or heard about it at all, but it's basically my blueprint is what I use exactly to the T, what I use step by step to buy a Mercedes with no money down. Like literally, guys, let me just tell you a quick story about that. So I called the dealership, Mercedes, and I called them and I was like, yeah, I want to find out your process for first I wanted to talk to the commercial finance manager, because the regular salespeople don't really know everything about business. So you want to talk to the business finance person. So I was like, I just want to talk to somebody, and then the guy gets on the phone, and I was like, yeah, I want to get a Mercedes, and and he's like, okay, so how much do you want to put down? I was like, $0. He was like, so you want to personally guarantee it? I was like, no. And he was like, and he sounded really like funny in his voice, you could tell, and he was just like, because this is a Mercedes dealership, so they're like, so he got off the phone, and after I told him that, he was like, well, he called me back. He's like, I have to tell you this, because he ran the application and everything, he put it through, and I think it was later on that day, like that night, he called me at like 8 o'clock at night, right? So I'm looking at my phone, and I see his name pop up, Mercedes Benz, and I'm thinking, if this fool is calling me at 8 o'clock at night to give me a denial, I'm putting my shoes on. I'm going to the dealership right now. Right now. You gonna tell me that face to face. What you want to say? So so I answered the phone, and I was like, hello. And he's like, hi, Nicole. Is this a good time? I was like, I don't know. What you want? You tell me. But y'all have to. I am like this all the time. I'm sorry, but so he was like, is it a good time? I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's okay. What's going on? So then he was like, well, I want to start out by saying, because he told me his whole, I've been in the business for 20 years and I've never had anybody not, yeah, whatever. Put the application through. So he's like, I just call you and tell you I just got your status back, and your loan was approved. I was like, He's like, and I just want to tell you, I've never seen anybody, I didn't know you could do that. And I've been in business for 20 years. I'm like, look at that. You can't teach your old dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? So he was like blown away by it. And I was just like, because you got to just know when you know what you got, and you know the rules, and you know, it's nothing. Your confidence level is like through the roof, first of all, because you're there mentally. You know what I'm saying? And you project that, and you stand strong in what you know. When you know it's proven, and you've seen people do it. You know what I mean? And So, y'all, it was funny though. When he called me at 8 o'clock at night. It was just so funny. But yeah, so that's it. I'm done. That's my spiel. But if y'all want to get the book, it's there. It's available to you. Success Leaves Clues. The coupon code SLC40. I spelled that wrong. It's SLC40, y'all. Don't do SCL. It won't work. It's SLC, which stands for Success Leaves Clues 40. And you'll get 40% off. That coupon code expires on 31st. But grab it. There's some more hacks in there. There's some more different techniques that a lot of people don't talk about. And there's also some information in there for people who do have like good personal credit, and you might want to leverage that a little bit, and then it'll kind of help you build your business even faster. If you have good personal credit and you don't mind using that as a little springboard to kind of get your business really going, by all means, use what you got to get what you want. And if you know what you're doing, you won't mess it up. So that's it, guys. I'm done. Any questions?
Well, no questions here. I'm good. Thank you.
That's what's up.
That was really good.
Thank you. I worked hard on it.
Well, thank you.
Nicole.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
How does I need to talk to you after.
Okay. Who is this? I can't see.
LT.
Okay.
California.
Miss California. All right, Miss California.
So for
what you want to talk about? Sunshine?
You can put your information in the chat if you want to, or private message her the contact information in the chat.
Don't let me do no technical stuff. I'll mess around.
I know.
Cut everybody off.
Deborah, I'm driving in the rain, so no, I cannot do that. I'm just listening in. I'll hit you.
Okay.
Okay.
Link us up.
Yeah, just message me. That's fine. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for sitting through all that. I hope I was able to help you guys, or you learned something, or picked up something from it. And like I said, if you want this presentation PDF format, just jump on my website, put it in your cart, add the code buddies, and is yours.
And it's the Business Domination website, right?
Yes, businessdomination.com.
Excellent training. Excellent.
Thank you.
From one trainer to another. Excellent.
Well,
That's what's up.
I certainly appreciate you all jumping on. And this business buddy thing has been going on for the whole month of December with the sole purpose of helping business owners scale and grow for 2022. And we wanted to kick it off or end it with the financing part of it, because that's the most important part to grow and scaling, knowing what you got available to. So Nicole, you did a wonderful job of presenting that to us. Thank you so much. I will have the other 3 weeks available, and I'm going to send them out on YouTube so that you guys can see the replays for those as well, because they all good, especially LT with the reset. We all had a good time, and I enjoy every last one of y'all coming on and listening with us. So people keep asking me to make this a podcast. I'm thinking about it, so I'm praying.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Make your podcast. Go for it.
Go for it.
Hey, Rob.
I was just,
Well done.
I was just chilling in the background, listening. But go on ahead, honey bunch. You got this.
Yeah, you're doing good.
You done put this together, so you might as well go ahead, step out on faith, and keep it moving. And it's helping.
Thank
Trust
you.
the
Believe it or
process.
not, it's helping, child.
Well, I appreciate you all for spending the last hour and a half with us. If I don't speak to you or see y'all personally, you have a wonderful New Year's on purpose and be prosperous.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Happy New Year,
Happy
love.
New
Happy
Year.
New Year. All right.